Guadalajara, Mexico's third largest city, is known for being the birthplace of mariachi bands. But does that make for high quality stadiums? Let's find out. Here are the stadiums and arenas of Guadalajara, Mexico. Estadio Panamericano de Béisbol. We start off with a very unusual stadium. Unusual because it's shared by two sports that you don't often see sharing a stadium. That being athletics and baseball. So you can watch people run, and then watch people hit home runs, and then run home because you have the runs. The reason this odd pairing has eventuated is because it was built for the 2011 Pan American Games. However, after those games it was a baseball team that wanted to call this place home. So it was retroactively converted into a ballpark. And I've got to say, other than a few areas of seating that must have poor sight lines here and there, it seems to do a decent job at hosting baseball. And due to its unique origin, the design is completely unique amongst baseball stadiums in Mexico, and presumably the world. Plaza de Toros Nuevo Progreso. Guadalajara wouldn't be a real Mexican city if it didn't have one of these buildings. It is of course a bull ring. As disturbing as the sport itself is, some bull rings can be quite beautiful. This one, not so much. I mean, it's not ugly, just not spectacular. As we've seen in previous videos, most notably Barcelona, bull rings can be converted into non-sporting venues, like a shopping center. However, as Guadalajara is home to a significant women's tennis tournament, I could see this place being converted into a tennis stadium. Because personally, I don't want to judge, but personally I find tennis to be slightly more enjoyable to watch than the taunting and stabbing of an animal, unless it's Victoria Azarenka that's playing. Speaking of which, I'll give a quick shout out to this sporting complex, which includes the tennis courts used at the Guadalajara Open, as well as a natatorium, a swimming venue, none of which quite meet the capacity cutoff. Estadio Jalisco. Jalisco is the state in which Guadalajara is located. It is in fact the capital of Jalisco. Fittingly, Estadio Jalisco is the largest stadium in Jalisco. I've got to stop saying Jalisco. It's the third largest stadium in Mexico overall. Interestingly, when the stadium first opened, it lacked the upper tier, yet it still had around the same capacity as it does today. That is due to the vast amount of terracing that the original stadium had, rather than bucket seating which it currently has. And of course the lax safety standards that I'm sure were prevalent in 1960s Mexico may have beefed up that capacity. The stadium gained the upper tier and the additional roofing after a redevelopment in 1970, shortly before it hosted games at the 1970 World Cup. Since then, other than a change of seating, it hasn't changed all that much. Arena Coliseo de Guadalajara. It's not just bullfighting that Mexico is known for. They love their wrestling as well. There are several wrestling specific venues in this city, but this is comfortably the largest. It's owned by Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, a wrestling promotion company that was founded way back in 1933. It's a very compact arena with a small upper tier hovering directly above the lower one, which makes for an intimate atmosphere to watch whatever this is. Estadio Akron. This part of the world has plenty of volcanoes, but just the one stadium that was designed to resemble a volcano. Rather than a facade made of concrete or brick, the earth rises up, forming a wraparound grass embankment. I love that, although I feel for whoever has to mow the lawn. That's not all though, the white roof is designed to resemble a cloud hovering above the peak of a volcano. Inside it's a little more conventional and looks a lot less like an explosive mountain. But it does occasionally erupt, with sound that is. And to be fair, the interior does also have some distinctive design elements. That being the two small middle tiers done up in white, they are comprised of premium seating. And there is a hedge lining the perimeter of the field, which is always a nice touch. Situated way out in the far reaches of the metropolitan area is Arena VFG, which is a concert venue. The design is very bare bones. It's basically a horseshoe seating layout with a shed built around it. So I'm not sure what the acoustics would be like. I don't know, it just looks echoey in here. Echoey in here. Echoey in here. Echoey in here. See what I mean? Having said that, it's clean, modern, and overall rather nice. Echoey in here. It is currently the largest indoor arena in the city, but it's soon to be overtaken by Arena Guadalajara, which is a 20,000 seat arena that is currently under construction, as you can see. The site on which it stands was previously a planetarium. The arena was initially planned to have opened in 2022, but due to legal issues, construction was delayed for 2 years. It will almost certainly be opening in September of 2024. So there you have it. Please consider subscribing if you're new, and as always, thanks for watching, have a good one.